So our hypothesis for the experiment was if we gather data from different age groups that for their taste buds, we will see that younger kids will have better taste perception than older kids.
Aren't you missing something from your project?
Oh.
Go get it. It's okay. Keep talking. Talk to me about your literature review, please. Some of your background research.
My background that we found was that we have over 1,000 taste buds, and as we age, there's less taste buds. So we found since younger kids have more taste buds, then they would be able to perceive taste better than older people. And then also we found that taste buds could be affected by damage, by like a disease, or if you're born with not good of sensing taste or smell. And then literature review.
Yeah. So talk to me about your models and how it ties into your literature review, Jazmine, because you did a great job on the model.
Okay, our model is a tongue.
So you researched parts of the tongue?
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me.
We discovered that our taste buds for salty and sweet were mostly like on the tip of it, and then the sour was on the side, and then the bitter was like in the back. And then the middle part, they really don't taste that much stuff in the middle part.
Okay.
So.
Awesome.
And the little dots you see are the taste buds on our tongue.
Okay. I love that you guys found something that actually really looks like a tongue, because I know you worried about your model. But once you built your model, were you happy with it?
Yeah, it
Excellent.
looks cool.
It does look cool. And I liked it. Now, were the dots part of the...
No.
You put those dots on there?
Yeah.
Excellent. So we have dots all over our tongue. So towards the back, I usually get like white dots. What is that, my bitter section, or...? So that's the bitter section. So is that back by where your tongue connects? So this is the back of the tongue. All right, cool. Thank you. Let's talk a little bit more about your literature review. What other stuff did you guys have to research to set up for this project?
Well, like we said, we had to research like the parts of the tongue, like where the bitter and the sour and salty and sweet
Because
were.
we also found like through our experiment that not like some students didn't taste bitter here.
Really?
So they tasted it like in different areas, so it was different. So the tongue didn't work for all the students. It was like individual.
Let's talk about the chemicals that you used. What were you using to taste bitter and salt and sweet?
So the sweet we use sugar with distilled water, and then we use vinegar for the bitter taste, and then we use salt just for the salt.
Excellent. And how were you swabbing? Can you walk me through your procedure? Like if I were somebody who was going to join your experiment and you were going to test on me, what would be the first things you did with me?
So the first thing we did was make sure that you washed your mouth.
With what?
With a Dixie cup.
Okay.
And then
I washed it with a Dixie cup. You mean with
With
water in
water.
it?
With
Oh,
water,
okay.
with water in it. And then we made sure.
And what was the reasoning for that?
Because so they won't have any taste from other.
Any other food or anything else
Yeah.
they'd eaten? Got it. Okay.
So then we will put 50 of this
Filled water
Yeah.
and 50 of the other part.
Okay.
and then we'll mix it and then just dip it in.
And were you guys using any protective, were you using gloves, or how were you keeping from touching their
washing
saliva?
our hands.
In between each one? Excellent. And then you were using individual swabs for each
Yeah,
control?
for each
Excellent. Okay. And so did you use an individual swab for not only each flavor, but also for each student? So each student
Yeah.
was using
Yeah.
about 4 swabs. Okay, perfect. Continue, please.
We'll dip it and then we'll tell them what they were gonna say, do. So like stick their tongue out and stuff.
Okay.
And then we'll dip it and then they will have to put it down and then we'll
Swab it all
Swab
over
it
your
over.
tongue. Sure.
And what were some of the things that happened that you didn't expect, or scientific error, or things that you had to modify your experiment as you went? Did you find that it worked exactly the way it should have? If you were going to replicate this entire experiment, is there anything you learned that you might change?
Probably because we were monitoring how the kids cleaned their mouth, I guess, because we couldn't really do that.
Right, right. So you didn't time like how long they were swishing water around their mouth or any of
Yeah.
that stuff. Okay, so that would be one source of scientific error, making sure that that was consistent.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
also making sure they have their tongue all the way out because
Yeah,
would
because
just go
someone
like
would
this.
move back or something when they would taste it.
So
yeah,
you
that was
make it
difficult.
actually making sure that their tongue was, so you were actually hitting the correct parts. Got
Yeah.
it, got it. Or even grabbing their tongue. I mean, there are things that dentists use where you could have actually,
Yeah.
we could have gotten one of those things where they stuck their tongue out and you clamped it. And I don't know how they would have liked it, but they would have, you could have clamped it. Talk to me about any other scientific errors that you found, and then we're going to talk about your data and your evidence, okay? So anything else that went wrong or that you would have changed, places or how you tested or who you tested?
I feel like we should have tested older people.
Yeah. that's
Okay,
what I was
why?
gonna say.
Because they were saying that as we get like way older, that the taste buds are completely different.
Really?
There's not a lot of taste buds.
Like
So
them-
define way older, because, being
Like
42, I want to
60,
know when mine are going.
60.
Okay, so up into the 60s, we're actually going to see your taste buds change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Talk to me about your data, please, and how many people you tested and what your evidence and.
So
yeah.
We tasted fifth graders,
Mm-hmm.
first graders, fifth graders, and 10th graders,
Mm-hmm.
different age groups, and we had 10 boys and 10 girls, and
to make it even.
yeah,
Okay.
for each age
And
group.
were they easier or harder to test than high schoolers?
They were easier
Yeah.
than high schoolers. I think high schoolers overreacted.
Yeah, they overreacted a lot.
All right, so it was the high schoolers pulling their tongues back. Excellent. And then did you test high schoolers as well?
Yeah.
All right, so you did fifth graders, 10 of them. Who else did you test?
10th graders
Mhm.
And 10 of them.
first graders.
And first grader. Boys, girls, a little of both? Even, 50-50?
Even.
So 5 boys, 5 girls.
Yeah.
Excellent. And can you talk to me about some of your conclusions and how that relates to your data table? Or your graph, sorry. So you already talked about your data. Now talk to me about the trends you saw, please.
The
Okay.
graph.
Mhm.
Well, the little kids.
Yep.
These were the little kids compared to the older kids.
And what do the colors represent? Because I'm pretty far away.
Oh, the blue represents the vinegar,
Uh-huh.
and then the green represents the sour.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the salty. And then the pink one represents the salty.
Interesting. And so what did you find? So talk to me about your conclusions for the different ages. So what did you find about your youngest grades?
Our youngest grades, first graders and fifth graders, they didn't really taste anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like they will guess on like the
Depending on like if they liked it. Or not.
yeah, they will guess on that. Like if
Really?
they liked vinegar, they'll be like, oh, 10 or something.
So it was more about their perceptions of the taste, not
Yeah.
their actual taste, okay?
Yeah.
And what did you learn about the next 2 age levels?
The 10th graders, they actually said what they.
Like how strong
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
that taste was for them.
Got it? And then who else did you
The
have?
fifth graders,
Mm-hmm.
they
They were kind of like in
Yeah.
between.
they will say what they.
Liked it.
So you guys had your hypothesis. Did you prove your hypothesis right or wrong based on your data?
It was wrong.
It was wrong.
Okay? And so tell me how. So your hypothesis was,
Our
and we tested it wrong because.
Our hypothesis was that if we gather data from different age groups,
Mm-hmm.
those who are younger will then have a better taste perception. Because
Okay.
Younger kids will have more taste.
And then tell me how you proved that your hypothesis was wrong.
Looking at the graph,
Mhm.
the 10th graders had more taste perception, I guess, and then the first graders didn't. Like, they will taste on how they liked it or not.
Good. And if you were to take this experiment and you were told next year that you had to do another experiment based on this experiment, how would you evolve this experiment or change this experiment and do it differently or test more? What would you like to know more about?
Make sure to test.
Because I know you mentioned older people.
Yeah,
And then
say-
make sure to test. Continue with your other train of thought.
Yeah,
please.
the older people, and then how they clean their mouth.
Clean the mouth, okay. Would you-
Having the tongue out,
Mhm.
like all the way out.
So maybe finding that kind of a dental bracket so
Yeah.
you could actually not have them. Have you thought about blindfolding?
No.
Just because if
I
they
mean,
see it, if they see you dip it, it may have changed how they perceived you.
Yeah, and they saw the labels. And
Ah,
they didn't
got it.
have
Okay, so that would have been another form of experimental error. Is
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
we should have done A, B, C, D instead of what was on the mixture. But I think that maybe a blindfold would have been something really good to use. I think that's great. If I could please see, guys, your citations, your data records, and if you have your notebooks with you.
Well, they're all
Very nice model. Really nice model. I just need to see your citations and then your
The
data
notes?
records. Yeah, that's fine. Let me see the notes.
So I can have a citation.
And then these are copies of your notes. Very
Yeah,
nice.
And then here are the articles that we use.
Did you guys test them at the same time of the day, just out of curiosity? Or throughout the day?
Flex.
Oh, during flex. So everything was done during flex at the end of the day.
And then the notebook.
Perfect.
All the notes
That's
we
what I
took,
needed. Thank you, my dears.
data.
Alrighty, good job, guys.